Hey, what's going on everyone? It's me, Juan Carlito Mendoza, and welcome back to a brand new drum lesson. In this drum lesson, we're going to be learning a 4-way independence linear groove. So if you're ready to get to work, grab your sticks, grab your pad, grab your drum set, grab whatever you have, and let's get right to it. All right, so this groove is based off of 12 notes. You heard it, only 12 notes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down into fragments. That way you can hear the fragments individually, and then we'll piece it all together. All right, so let's look at the first fragment. The first fragment is just a kick, then we have a hi-hat that's accented, and then we have a left-handed ghost note. Let's hear how this sounds. All right, so for the next fragment, we just have a snare on the left hand that's ghost noted. Then we have a foot chick, and then we follow that with a right hand on the hi-hat that's accented. All right, let's hear how this sounds. All right, so now let's put both fragments together, and that will be our beat one. Let's hear how this sounds. All right, so let's look at fragment 3. Fragment 3, we're just going to have a snare drum that's accented. Then we're going to follow that with another snare drum on the left hand, but that's going to be ghost noted, so be careful. We're going accent and then tap. So you're going to pull with your fingers, and then you're going to drop in order to get the second stroke. All right, and then we finish that with a foot on the hi-hat. Let's hear how this sounds. All right, and the last fragment, we have a right hand that's on the hi-hat, and then we follow that with 2 ghost notes on the left hand. And this is what fragment 4 is going to sound like. All right, so now that we've broken down all the fragments, now the next step is to put all that together in order to come up with our 4-way independence linear groove. All right, let's hear how the whole groove sounds. All right, so now let's hear this a little bit faster, no metronome still. And what I want you to be aware of is making sure that all those ghost notes are going to be soft and make sure those accented notes are actually punchy. All right, let's hear how this sounds a little faster. All right, so now that we've got that groove down, the next step is to add variations based off of that 12-note grouping. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to change the right hand, but we're not changing the right hand or the pattern, we're just changing the accent. So if you notice, we're going to play an accent on the first right hand, then we're not going to play an accent, and then we're going to play a right hand, accented, and then we're not going to play it accented, etc., etc. And this is going to change the groove completely, at least the way it feels. All right, let's hear how this sounds. Let's do this really slowly, no metronome. All right, so now let's hear this a little bit faster. That way you can hear the subtle difference. All right, let's check it out. All right, so now let's look at variation 2. Variation 2 is the same exact thing, except that we're going to reverse it. So now we're going to start with an unaccented right hand, and then we'll do accent, then unaccented right hand, accent, etc. All right, let's hear how this sounds. And let's hear it a little faster. All right, so I'm going to play variation 1 and variation 2 so you can hear the subtle difference. I'm going to play it on the cowbell and you'll hear how this sounds and how the texture completely changes in this whole groove. All right, so in variation 3, we're going to do the same thing we did in the main groove. However, we're going to take the accent out on beat 4, and we're going to shift it over to the and 4, and that's going to give us some anticipation. All right, let's hear how this sounds. All right, so now let's hear that a little bit faster. All right, and in this last variation, we're going to do the same exact sticking. However, we're going to move it around the drum set, and this is going to sound completely different. All right, let's hear how this sounds. Well, I hope you dug this drum lesson. For more lesson materials, you can check out carlitomendoza.com. And if you dig what you see on this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, like, share, all that good stuff. And I hope to see you next time. Stay safe and wash your hands.